know how big of a sweater guy I am. I'm
I
a
do.
huge sweater guy, and it has been so hot up until this time. I wanna be, as the kids say, throwing some fits.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you got to wait a little bit longer. I think we're going to be approaching the 80s and have some sunny skies later. But anyway, thanks for joining us. Dan and I have spent the majority of the day up at KU today, hearing from KU coordinators, KU players on the football side of things, and then also KU head volleyball coach Matt Ulmer, head soccer coach Nate Lee, and some student athletes on that front as well. You're going to hear that coverage throughout this week on Rock Chalk Sports. Today, we are talking KU basketball in the opening segment. The dates, not the times, the dates have been released for KU basketball's Big 12 schedule. The entire Big 12 men's basketball schedule is out in full. Of course, yesterday it was the women's side that was fully released. So we'll touch on that, give you some specifics here in the opening segment. Next segment, kind of reset a little bit regarding the women's basketball schedule. We just did a quick hitter on that yesterday as it came out while we were on air. So we'll update you on that, the key games there. And we're also going to do a little bit of a sports whip around. There's a lot of little stories around the world of sports that we want to fill you in on today. We want to talk Lions Ravens. That was last night on Monday Night Football. We didn't give game picks yesterday. I don't know how we missed that.
No, I did game picks of my own, and I lost so much money.
That is really unfortunate. I don't know what's worse, losing money or not winning money. I like the Lions and the over. And
See, that's
again, no funds.
I know that's true. Yeah, I had Ravens covering. I actually did a live bet. It was at -2.5.
You
They
had
lost
Lamar,
the game.
and live bets are always just
I
always
know
a
it
bad
was
idea.
not very smart of me, but yeah, it was a fun game though. It was
Well, the
it was
Ravens, I
exciting
mean,
game.
really tough schedule. I mean,
Yes.
they've already played the Bills and the Lions, and of course, they head to Kansas City this upcoming week. I don't know. It's concerning, I think, for both teams, but now you're getting an angry Ravens team coming to Arrowhead. So
Well, here's the thing. I mean, both the Ravens and the Chiefs are 1-2. I
right.
mean, looking at this game, did you expect that at all?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
But a really tough schedule for both of those teams. Yeah, of course, we'll have Chiefs coverage throughout the week as well. Ravens are going to be hungry. Want to update you on a few other things that went on in the NFL slate as well on Sunday, and a few things that caught our eye, some surprises in the first 3 weeks of the NFL season, plus some coaching changes across college football and college basketball. We'll tell you about that next segment as well. 4:48, we are going to hear from KU Athletics Hall of Famer Gary Woodland. Gary Woodland just last week had the official media availability ceremony inducting Gary Woodland into the KU Athletics Hall of Fame. We're going to hear from Woodland at the end of this hour. And then 5 o'clock, it's Top 10 Tuesday.
That's right.
What do we have today, Dan?
It's very special, top 10.
Thank
you for mentioning that, Sean. They're all very special. I know you didn't say that, but I
didn't say that.
I need to make sure that you know that this is a very special
very
top
special
10.
top 10. I got it.
Special than any of the others. They're all equally special in my eyes. Today's top 10 is going to be a really fun one. I've been sitting on this one for a while. It's my top 10 things to call your friends.
I like it.
Yeah, just nicknames to call your friends.
So Bro's going to be on there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, well, let's not
maybe.
give
Bro
too
might be on
many
there.
away. I got 10 of them, and I was racking my brain trying to get 10.
All right, and we're gonna have some visuals for those as well. I believe Easton John was doing the Lord's work.
We have a new thing. We're going to be putting at least the words on there. I had a bunch of visuals, and then Easton said it's too hard.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Fine.
Easton John, Elijah Schmidt running the operation today. At the bottom of the
Easton
5 o'clock
John
hour,
really everything.
We are gonna talk KU
Running
soccer. We mentioned Nate Lee spoke to the media earlier today. KU soccer, their longest undefeated streak to start a season ever. They're 7-0-2. Again, a little bit later in the week, you'll hear from Nate Lee and some KU soccer players, but a few notes as they have continued to climb in the rankings and have had some individuals recognized as well throughout the season. We're also going to hear from a couple other Jayhawks post-game as we officially wrap up the victory over West Virginia on Saturday, the 41-10 blowout win. We'll hear from Emmanuel Henderson and Dean Miller later in the show, and then we're going to close out the show with Dan throwing to Lance Leipold and breaking down everything that Lance said yesterday at his weekly press conference. So that's what we got today. A lot of great content for you. Again, make sure you're locked in to kansasnation.com throughout the week because this is getting to that time of year where we're going to have as much content as anybody out there for coverage with fall sports and, of course, winter sports on the horizon as well. Dan, KU basketball.
Oh, I was going to get to the big news of the day. Obviously, we have a ton of news, but KU basketball schedule did release for the Big 12, but we also lost yesterday in slow pitch softball.
We did. We did.
Do you want to
That's
talk
the
about
big news.
this?
I actually, yeah, I do actually have
We lost
some
13 to 10,
complaining.
3.
It was 13-3. So
It was bad.
here's what happened. Let me explain.
I know.
So we got put in the co-ed beer league, which is essentially this. I mean, that's the money spot.
Of course.
That's the money spot. You get a little bit of competition, and you get to just enjoy yourselves. People want to win, but you don't really care that much.
Yeah,
But
it's a
there's
little
enough
competitive.
competitiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we won the first game last week, but the problem was instead of one league, they've made it here in Lawrence because of a dropout or two late to where the really competitive teams and then the us looking teams are in the same league. So there's like 10 teams in this league and we only have 5 or 6 weeks. And, there's going to be some really good teams. And that was the case last night, but it was so disappointing. I was like legitimately heartbroken after this happened last night. So 6:15 game last night. So we're running over there after the show and we have a couple at bats. We get up 2-0 or something early.
Yeah.
And I had a couple hits, my first 2 at bats. My wife and daughter were going to come to the game, right? So, it's tough getting a toddler in the car and packing. They were going to have dinner, which is cute. So she had her little PB&J and
Yeah, it was
and
nice.
fruit and all that. Very adorable. And she recognized Dan and Dan's lovely girlfriend Piper, who are on the team, of course. And they set up shop.
She just looked at me. She said, "Mustache." I was like, yeah, that's
knows it's you. Had to be you.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're sitting and having their little picnic, and I was due up like last when they came in, but I ran and I met her, and I'm like, okay, we're down like 8-3 or 7-3 or something at that point. We go out in the field, and she gets to see me throw a couple balls over to first base, and cut off a couple balls from the outfield, whatever. And then we come
saw her
up
over there. She was taking stats too.
Yeah, right.
It was great. It was
brought
really
her own
impressive.
scorebook, a little tiny scorebook.
Little baby scorebook. Yeah.
We didn't do anything offensively, went back out there, didn't do anything offensively, went back out there, and literally, apparently, it was the last inning to where after 5 innings, you can get run ruled. The other team scored 5, and it was 13-3, and the dude behind the plate, the umpire, called the game before my daughter got to watch me bat.
And you were about to lead off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So literally, they came in right after I had batted.
Turned it all around for
and
us.
So I was like, and like they haven't been to a game. They weren't at a game in the summer, and
That's
like
right.
usually the games are really late. So this is like a before the bedtime type situation. This was the chance, and he called the game. I looked at him. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I even said, "Did you hear what I said to him?" I was like, "Now my daughter doesn't get to watch me bat."
Oh, yeah,
and
guilt him.
I know.
Yes.
I think
really
he do. I think he did kind of feel bad, which I felt bad. It's not his fault that we were no good.
Sure.
But I know that was a real bummer. I was like, man, they finally got to a game and she didn't get to see me bat. But next time we got to make it happen. Got to make it happen.
Of course.
KU basketball schedule. Another weird opening game. It seems like KU always opens at UCF, right?
Yeah.
It's like if it's not West Virginia, it's UCF. The road game's always at UCF.
Right. Is this the third year in a row that the home or the away opener?
It's the second year in a row, but they also played in January in Orlando.
That was
3 years ago. So
okay.
it's weird enough that they're always in Orlando, but that's the situation. January 3rd, that's the opener for KU basketball in the Big 12. And then January 6th, KU plays host to TCU. Okay, we don't want to count up wins, but UCF and TCU are not generally strong teams in the conference. Then KU goes to Morgantown on January 10th. Dan, break down some other things that you noticed from the schedule. There's an Arizona swing a little bit later in the year, and obviously senior night coming up. KU actually gets to host K-State on senior night on March 7th.
Yeah, KU hosting K-State on senior night is absolutely huge, especially because of the fact that, and I don't want to give too much credit to K-State, but they do have 2 very good scorers coming onto their squad with Abdi Bashir as well as PJ
I didn't
Haggard.
realize you were drinking that Tang this year.
I'm not drinking the Tang. I'm just saying that they have a decent offensively minded team. I don't think Jerome Tang I still think he's a bad coach. But obviously KU has been on a however long streak of senior night wins.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Obviously
Doug McDaniel and Coleman Hawkins didn't really work out for him. So.
No, it didn't. You're absolutely right. The $2 million man and the $1.5 million
but yeah,
man.
It'll be fun to have that as the last game.
I absolutely agree. Last game, that's going to be a blast. A couple of things do kind of poke out to me. Number one is that you have Iowa State and Baylor both at home back-to-back games on January 13th and January 16th. That could be a really tough matchup. Now, they are in Allen Fieldhouse, but still, that's a tough little 2-game stretch there, especially coming from Morgantown. Now, who knows how West Virginia is going to be this year with, Tucker DeVries and Darren DeVries and all those guys. kind of going away. I'm a fan of West Virginia. I don't know how good they're going to be.
It's never easy
It's
to
never
play there,
easy to
though.
go to
Yeah.
Morgantown. So there's a
Right.
kind of a tough 3-game stretch sort of at the beginning, right? Then you host, or sorry, excuse me. So you go to K-State January 24th, then you have BYU at home, and then you go to Texas Tech. That's another tough 3-game stretch right there. Then you have, after Utah, which is going to be another home game, not worried about that. Then you have Arizona at home and then Iowa State away. That's a tough 2-game stretch right there. So you have these 2 or 3-game stretches that can be really tough, kind of sandwiched in between these kind of softer, easier games, if you will. Now, obviously, we knew this before, but Kansas doesn't have to go to the Fertitta Center, so that is absolutely huge. Don't have to go down to Houston. At the end of the season, you have about a 4-game stretch, which could be really tricky, and that includes the K-State game, but it's Houston at home, at Arizona State, which is going to be a sort of road trip. Now, granted, are we going to take the road trip, the quote unquote vacation that we did out at Utah last year? Because that did not go
Call it
very
an
well.
extended stay.
Extended stay is how you should put it. But so February 28th, you're at Arizona, and then March 3rd, you're at Arizona State. So does Kansas fly back, or do they stay in Arizona for that extended period of time? Because we kind of saw what happened when they did stay in Utah for that extended period of time last year. They lost to the Fighting Gabe Madsons in Utah and got absolutely ran out of the gym by BYU. So obviously not great last time, and I understand that Bill Self is a little bit of a superstitious guy. He has at least been in the past, so I don't know if he's going to maybe change that up. And then we have K-State, obviously, too, finishing up on senior night. So all in all, I do kind of like the way that this shakes out. Again, it's just a couple of 2 to 3 game stretches here and there that make me a little bit concerned.
Couple things that I want to point out just from a logistical side of things. You mentioned the K-State game in Manhattan on January 24th. That's followed by the home game against BYU. All eyes will be on that one with Peterson and Debansa. There's no game in between. There's no midweek game that week. So that's, I think, a plus for Kansas. I don't know what BYU's schedule looks like, but you're at K-State on Saturday, the 24th of January. Then you have no midweek game, and you get BYU at home on the 31st. I would think that's a good thing.
Extended rest.
We're going to continue to read into this because that's what we do. But, yeah, certainly 2 games against Iowa State. That's always going to be really difficult. January 13th, Iowa State comes to Lawrence, and then you go to the Hilton on February 14th. That, of course, is tricky. But like you said, KU does not have to go to Houston. That's absolutely massive. KU entering its 30th season in the Big 12. Technically, I guess you say they've won 20 of the 29 titles.
Yeah.
And they won 13 in a row. Some people
Why
say 21, and some people say 14 in a row because of the 2017-18 season. But KU has dominated this league, trying to get back to where it was before the past couple seasons of disappointments. Other things from a logistical standpoint, mentioned the Iowa State game Tuesday, January 13th at home. The Baylor game following that at home, Friday, January 16th. Means KU does not play on Saturday, January 17th. Interesting having a Friday home game on that front. And like you said, kind of the Arizona State swing to end it. You know, you look at this, and we'll do this. We've done this with football. You see a lot of winnable games, right? Yep. Last year, Kansas lost 3 games at home. That is a rarity, and hopefully does not happen for a long time here at KU. I don't anticipate it happening again this year. Yes, it's very tough to win all of your home games. Maybe KU drops one. Obviously, you have really difficult teams coming in with Houston, BYU, Iowa State. Tough to ask Kansas to win every single one of those games, even though they're at home. But you look against some of these teams that, granted, we don't know exactly how their rosters are going to mesh together, like the Colorados, who finished 16th in the league last year. TCU, again, they're always middling at best. Cincinnati, they're kind of in a rebuilding phase right now.
Don't Jizzle James anymore.
They lost a lot of guys. No Dan Skillings, no Aziz Mandego. So, who knows on that front. But I like how this looks for KU in terms of, again, only having to play some of these teams once, and Texas Tech and Houston are top of that list.
I absolutely agree. And Texas Tech, that game scares me a lot because of the fact you only have one game in between that and the BYU game. BYU, they play Saturday, January 31st, and then you have Big Monday against Texas Tech
Yeah,
on
it's a tough
February
swing.
2nd. So right away,
With traveling, too.
I was about to say with travel, right? So you have to essentially play BYU on that Saturday. Now, hopefully, you can hope for maybe a day game on that Saturday, right? Hopefully, maybe a noon or 2 tip off, that kind of thing, instead of a late game on Saturday. Friday, after a tough battle against obviously the number 2 player in all of the class of 2025, AJ Bonsa, it's going to be a battle down low. A lot of our bigs are going to be relatively tired. The next day, bang, they're getting on either a flight or a bus heading down to Lubbock to play on Monday. So that's going to be a really quick turnaround. That's what makes me really nervous. And if I were to pencil in anything right now, I would say that could potentially be a loss, like just automatic, just going down Big Monday against Texas Tech off of only essentially not even a day of rest because they still have a travel day in between.
You know what I'm looking at for this schedule? When taking into account the fact that the league is not won until the last week or two of the season,
True.
and generally Kansas is right there. Even the league, even the years that they haven't won the league, again, with the exception of the past couple of years, they've been right there. And it comes down to those final few games. I'm looking at February 23rd when Houston comes to Allen Fieldhouse. That is a game KU has to win just because of what happened last year in the
Absolutely.
fog. And then February 28th, KU is at Arizona. Those are teams that are looked at as top tier in the conference and quite frankly going to be ranked higher than Kansas in the preseason poll. So those are important. And then the last 2 games, I guess on the flip side of that, you're at Arizona State, who you're never really sure what you're going to get out of a Bobby Hurley team, but generally they've been toward the bottom of the conference. They were the 15 seed in the Big 12 tournament last year. And then you have K-State, who was the 10 seed in the Big 12 tournament last year. Those are your last 2 games. So you could get a couple wins there. Again, there's a lot of factors. You got to win a lot of games up until then to be in the conversation. But that's how it looks for KU. Again, the conference schedule, we'll just run through this really quick. January is at UCF, TCU, at West Virginia, Iowa State, Baylor, at Colorado, at K-State, BYU. February is at Texas Tech, Utah, Arizona, at Iowa State, at Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, Houston, at Arizona. And the 2 March games are those 2 that I just mentioned, at ASU and then K-State at home. The Phillips 66 Big 12 Championship starts Tuesday, March 10th and goes through the championship game on Saturday, March 14th. Selection Sunday, of course, Sunday, March 15th. That's what's happening in the conference season, and that is what was announced today, the specifics, the dates for KU basketball. We knew who the opponents were going to be. We knew how many times KU was going to be doing battle with these opponents, and we also knew the non-conference slate. One other note that came about today in regards to the non-conference slate, the KU Duke game taking place at Madison Square Garden in the Champions Classic on Tuesday, November 18th, will be an 8 p.m. tip. Not surprising that that's going to be the marquee matchup following Michigan State, Kentucky, which will be at 5:30. KU unofficially gets underway October 17th. That's a Friday, late night in the fog. A week from then is the first unofficial game, Friday, October 24th at the Yum Center in Louisville against the Cardinals. Pat Kelsey's Cardinals certainly had a fantastic season last year, ending up on that 8-9 line after a couple really, really tough years. And then other noteworthy games in the non-con, Friday, November 7th, KU's at the Dean Dome to take on North Carolina. I mentioned Duke on Tuesday, November 18th. Feast week, KU is in Vegas for the Players Era Tournament. Monday, November 24th, that's the Monday of Thanksgiving week, KU takes on Notre Dame. The next day, Tuesday, November 25th, KU gets Syracuse. And then KU will play either Wednesday, the 26th, or Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, the 27th. We Chiefs fans are probably hoping that the KU plays on Wednesday.
Certainly hope so.
So that we don't have any possible, conflicts there with double TV situation.
Also, isn't Thursday the 3rd place game? Am I correct about that, or am I wrong?
That
about
I'm not
that?
positive. You might know that better than I.
I thought they had a weird thing where like the championship was played before the 3rd place
strange
game.
because there's 32 teams. Is that correct?
In the players
era?
Yeah,
but it's not really a bracket. It's nor is it a pod. I'm not sure who decides that.
It's all about that they take into account a bunch of math that goes over my head.
I don't know, the 32 number I'm thinking of next year. I want to say there's 18 teams.
I think you're right.
Upcoming season. So we'll look on that, get you some specifics. But either Wednesday or Thursday, Thanksgiving week, will be KU's final game in Vegas for the Players Era Tournament. And then December 2nd, another marquee matchup at Allen Fieldhouse as Danny Hurley comes to town as UConn will visit the Fog. KU is at NC State December 13th. That's a Saturday, and they're going to close out the non-con Monday, December 22nd against Davidson. So that's kind of a recap of the KU basketball schedule, and yeah, looking forward to it. Going to be very tough. It's different than when everybody played everybody. It's just kind of the way of the world until the conference expands even more, which it probably will, and maybe get to a point where you break down division by division. Then
Right.
you're in this model right now where an 18-game slate, you're playing 3 teams twice, which for KU is K-State, Iowa State, and this year Arizona, and everybody else you'll play once. So interesting stuff.
Question for
we're
you,
excited
Sean.
for it.
I have
Yeah.
a question for you. Looking at this schedule, the way that it's shaking out in terms of dates, excluding the big Monday games, because we knew what those big Monday games were going to be, what game are you most looking forward to? I have one directly that sticks out above the rest, but what game are you most
Are
looking
you
forward
going
to?
K-State on senior day?
No, I'm actually going to go BYU.
Yeah, BYU is going to be a huge spectacle, especially because, again, that's another team going to be ranked above KU in the preseason. It's hard to argue anytime Iowa State comes to town,
Yeah,
too,
true.
January 13th, and that'll be the second conference game at home for Kansas. Baylor, you look at Baylor, they've been such a strong program. That's the team after Iowa State when they come to town January 16th. I have no idea what to expect from them. They lost pretty much everybody, including Rob Wright, who went over to BYU. They lose a lottery guy in VJ Edgecombe.
But
so
they did get Dan Skillings, who you were
They got
super
Dan
high
Skillings.
on.
I'm a big Dan Skillings guy. There's no doubt about that.
You wanted him to be Naismith Player of the Year,
I was
man.
trying.
You were so high on
last
him.
year, I was trying to get Cincinnati to be just a significantly better team than they actually were, and it never worked out.
Just to prove you right.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I liked the roster, and it just didn't work out. But anyway, that's the news of the day regarding KU athletics. KU men's basketball schedule released, and we're going to talk a few specifics about the KU women's basketball schedule here after this, and certainly excited to hear from some Jayhawks. Gary Woodland, we're going to hear from a little bit later in the show. We're going to hear from Emmanuel Henderson and Dean Miller. But next segment, we're going to hear from KU running back Leshon Williams, who had his best game as a Jayhawk in Saturday's 41-10 win as well. Thanks for watching on KansasNation.com.
This is Dale Highshaw, and you're watching KansasNation.com.
Welcome back to Rock Chalk Sports here on KansasNation.com. Did a little breakdown of the KU men's basketball schedule release. Always an exciting day for dorks like us. But the KU women's basketball schedule was also released. That came out yesterday. We mentioned it, but they start, of course, a little bit earlier. Their Big 12 tournament is a week prior, and that means that they get a couple games in before the new year, Dan, starting on December 21st, a test off the jump for the KU women.
That's right. Yeah, they're going to be going to Ames. It's going to be at Iowa State December 21st. So obviously a very tough start to the season, to the conference season for the Lady Jayhawks. Then they're going to be at home against West Virginia. That's going to be on January 1st. At UCF January 4th, directly after that. So yet another kind of
UCF in early
I know.
January.
Always going to be
West Virginia at home.
Which, by the way,
it doesn't matter who it is.
UCF's women's program is, at least last year, was dreadful. They were so bad. And then you get Utah coming back at home. That's going to be January 7th. Baylor, always going to be a tough matchup. You're at Baylor January 11th. Then you got Oklahoma State here. Kind of a tough 2-game stretch there with Baylor and Oak State. Arizona State, you're at Arizona State, then at Arizona. So another extended stay there. I would imagine the women's team would probably do that as well. You're at Arizona State January 17th, then at Arizona January 20th. Probably going to stay there for that little extended period of time. Then you have K-State at home, followed up by TCU. You're in Fort Worth there. Colorado at home. BYU at home, Cincinnati at home. So you have a 3-game stretch, all home games at Texas Tech, back at home against Houston February 14th, Valentine's Day. Then you're at K-State, Texas Tech at home February 25th, and then February 28th, the last conference game for the KU women's basketball program is at Oklahoma State. So senior night is actually going to be February 23rd versus Texas Tech. Then they finish off conference play at Oklahoma State.
A couple notes on that. You mentioned the Arizona swing. That's going to be tough. I think for Kansas, it's going to be a tricky start to the season. Of course, you're at Iowa State, like we talked about, to open. You mentioned there's some beatable teams in there in UCF and Utah early, but then you have at Baylor, Oklahoma State, who beat you at home last year at home, and then at Arizona State, at Arizona. That's a tough 4-game stretch. But on the flip side, you look beginning of February is when you get those 3 straight games at home.
Right.
You get Colorado, BYU, and Cincinnati. You go to Texas Tech. That's a winnable game. And then you come back and get Houston. So you have 4 of 5 games at home. I want to point out, aside from the Senior Day, Wednesday, February 25th against Texas Tech, the 2 dates of the Dillon Sunflower Showdown for the Kansas women. Home game, Sunday, January 25th, the Kansas women against K-State, and the road game in the Little Apple, Saturday, February 21st. So those are some key dates for the Kansas women's basketball season, who are going to have a very strong roster, Dan. It's not going to be deep in terms of numbers because you only have a dozen players on this roster, and there's going to be a lot of youth. I don't think KU will be ranked in the preseason, but I also certainly don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they're ranked at some point throughout the season and stay in the top 25 because that's how much talent they have. Of course, returning a Big 12 all-caliber player in Samaya Nichols, another one in Elle Evans, and then certainly you talk about the freshmen who have a chance to come in, play right away, and certainly contribute right away, highlighted by Jalea Davis.
Yeah, I think Jalea Davis kind of sticks out above the rest, which is obviously a very high bar, right? Because Libby Fandel and Keely Parks, both of them were floating around 4 or 5-star girls. Jalea Davis has been by far and away the best, which is again insane to even talk about. Now it's going to take some time for those freshmen to really kind of get into their own at the collegiate level. I think Jalea Davis is probably ready. Libby Fandel is a very good shooter. I think Keely Parks is getting there as well. But also you have a lot of returners that are coming back who you feel really excited about. Like you said, with Samaya, who's only getting better, with Elle Evans, who's a sharp shooter. She's long and lengthy and athletic, but she can play on the outside as well. So I think Jalea Davis is going to be huge for this squad. It just, in terms of how long it takes them to get comfortable in the college game, is really going to determine kind of how this season goes, because it's going to be tough to keep those 3 girls off the court, and they're only freshmen.
I really like the fact that you have Nichols and Evans as kind of your dependable duo,
Right.
if you will, that you're going to get production from. Now, KU's got to get healthy, stay healthy, especially with only 12 people on this roster. They had health problems, a ton of health problems, especially toward the end of last year. But not only do they have those, they have all the young players that we talked about coming in Parks and Fandel and Davis. But then you have some really good role players as well. Brittany Harshaw, she's been a streaky shooter, but she can fill it up off the bench. And then 2 really good, I think, role players as well, in Laia Canessa and Sanaya Copeland. So a lot to like about this Kansas women's team. Again, we don't know if they'll be ranked in the preseason. It wouldn't shock me if they are, but certainly understand KU needed to improve it a little bit despite all the talent.
Yeah, 100%. And you didn't even mention, or I don't think you did, Reagan Williams.
Yeah.
Right? Reagan Williams.
Just a sophomore.
Yeah, just a sophomore, just an absolute stud down low. And again, there's a little bit of size disparity with her because she's only 6'3", but she did a really good job down low in the post, battling against some other people that we saw, like the big girl Sedona Prince from TCU. I mean, I think that Reagan did a very good job against her. So Reagan and Jalea down low, I think, are going to be huge for us. Even though they're not the tallest, I think that they do have some power and they do a good job of what they do. This Kansas squad is really going to have to focus on their outside shooting, because that's really where they're going to get the majority of their points, right? Because you don't have a lot of size down low. I believe Nadir El Tayeb, she's still on the program, but we saw very limited minutes from her last year because Reagan Williams kind of took over at that 5 spot. So it wouldn't shock me to see Kansas even go 4 out and just have Reagan down low and just kind of play around with, okay, well, let's try Libby here and let's try Keely Parks there, and yeah, let's put Brittany Harshaw somewhere down in the corner and just kind of work some things out. So I would imagine Coach Brandon and company, they probably have a lot of kind of fitting this puzzle together, at least in the early part. So you certainly hope that they get it figured out by conference play, and I can only imagine that they will.
Yeah, well, Jalea Davis, again, she is a local kid, 5-star, expected to be an immediate impact player for the Kansas women. But the best nickname on the team is the Barcelona Bucket.
That's right, Laia Canessa.
No doubt about that. I'm expecting a big season from her as well in whatever capacity. Hey, we're going to hear from KU running back Leshon Williams. But first, let's do a little sports whip around, Dan. There's a lot of little stories around sports that I wanted to make sure that we got into to keep everybody abreast on that. Monday Night Football, of course, last night, a high-flying affair, 38-30. Lions win in the land of soft-shell crab A fumble again from Derrick Henry, and he's not. He's a Hall of Famer, right? I mean, he's a Hall of
Oh
Famer.
yeah,
But
100%. I would even go
now
as far to
another
say
turnover.
he could be the best of all time.
Hell, not if Saquon. What did Saquon do this past
I
week?
said
Your
he was
boy
top 5.
Saquon this past week did nothing
No.
for your boys. But no. Anyway, yeah, Derrick Henry, another costly fumble. Lions were impressive. They kind of laid an egg week 1 against the Packers, and it's looking more and more like that was an anomaly. They hang 38 after destroying the Bears last week, and now the Ravens. Yeah, they're 1-2. Their 2 losses are good ones, I guess, if you will, to Bills and Lions, 2 teams who might be playing in February, but a little bit different than the Chiefs because they've been whole and
Yeah.
they've still lost 2 games. It makes it such an intriguing matchup at Arrowhead on Sunday.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I mean, we said this in the last segment. How at this point nobody would have imagined that both the Ravens and the Chiefs would be 1-2 going into this game, which is absolutely insane to think because both of those teams are going to be vying for that AFC Championship to go to the Super Bowl. I guarantee you that. Now, granted, the Bills are still there, right? There's still some really good teams in the AFC, but as of right now, it sort of is kind of a dogfight between the Ravens and the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs haven't looked very good and the Chiefs just cannot stop throwing screen passes to save their lives. I will not get into that too much, but back to this game, I thought the Lions, they really did show out. Again, like you said, they did lay an egg week 1 against the Packers, but they've really come into their own, right? I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, I saw some good things out of him. Not a lot of big runs. We saw 67 yards, 2 touchdowns, only averaged 3 yards per carry. David Montgomery, having that 1-2 punch of Montgomery and Gibbs in that backfield is insane. The law firm of Montgomery and Gibbs, that's absolutely right. David Montgomery had a 72-yard touchdown. I mean, or not, I think he got tackled right before.
Yeah.
But still, a 72-yard run in that game is unbelievable. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I was going to ask, is he a top 5 receiver in the league?
Right now?
Yeah.
I would be willing to say he's potentially, I'd say top 3.
Wow.
And I'd have to do some thinking. He might be the best. He just looks so good.
Probably not Jamar. It's probably not better than Jamar.
Yeah, Jamar looks good, but
Triple Crown winner.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god. That's what Amon-Ra means. He has looked so good over the past 3 years or whatever it's been since he's been in the league. Just his growth has been exponential. So it's been so much fun to watch Amon-Ra St. Brown. By the way, hot mic of the century last night. I cannot repeat what he said.
Yeah,
it was very funny on his touchdown. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think is probably a top 5 wide receiver as of right now. Jameson Williams, I think, is coming into his own as well. The gambling man, Jameson Williams. Sam Laporta has been a little disappointing this year, though. I think that he was on pace to become a top 5 tight end in this league, and I think he's only
and Dalton Kincaid, who actually has been kind of good.
Yeah,
Kincaid was a first-round pick too. I'm just a little bit surprised. Not fall off. That's too strong of a word.
Yeah, it's just a little weird.
You're not getting production
to see how. Yeah, I guess a fall off is probably the right way to say it. Like I wanted to see more out of Sam Laporta.
Yeah,
I think he has
it's a
potential.
long season, and
sure, it's a long season, but I think he only has 8 or 10 catches on the year.
Right.
So
and Kincaid, just people were low on.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing him up just because, tight ends, people don't really know, but people were low on. He's actually had a pretty good start.
Right, but with Dalton Kincaid, he still has Dawson Knox on his squad. Sam Laporta's the guy for the Lions, and he still hasn't been able to do anything because I guess Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams take the majority of the catches, and then you also have the deep backfield, which is David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. But still, you would think that they're going to be utilizing, which makes me a little bit more concerned because hey, they have this sort of Swiss Army knife type of guy in Sam Laporta in their back pocket. We haven't even seen his full potential yet this year.
Yeah.
So it does make you a little concerned. But I think the Lions have really come into their own. I think that they're a top tier team and they're back on track after that week 1 egg laying against the Packers.
I'm glad that you came over to the good side with Amon-Ra. I know that you were always more of an Equanimous St. Brown type guy.
Yeah, I was always high on. Well, in terms of names, Equanimous was way cooler. But now that I know that Amon-Ra means sun god, I'm back
That's
in
pretty
on
good.
him.
That's pretty good. A couple other NFL notes I want to get to real quick. The Browns 13-10 over the Packers. Jordan Love,
weird.
what are you doing?
I know.
It was 10-0 late, and I liked the Browns plus 8.5 in this one. I was like, oh, that's going to hit. Turns out they won.
Yeah.
So Joe Flacco, don't lose to Cleveland right after we talk about you being a Super Bowl favorite, Green Bay, but that's just what they did.
Is Joe Flacco still elite? Was he ever elite?
No,
is the actual question.
No, and no. The Cincinnati Bengals,
Won a
they
Super Bowl.
lose to Carson Wentz. and the Minnesota Vikings 48-10. That's the worst loss in franchise history.
It was Jake Browning
for the Bengals. It was Carson Wentz.
Sure.
Don't lose by 38.
Former first round draft pick Carson Wentz.
That's true. He was in the MVP conversation not too long ago.
He was in 2016.
Yeah.
He led them to the playoffs
longer
when they
ago than I
won the
thought.
Super Bowl. No, he didn't win them the Super Bowl. Nick Foles
That's
did.
very true. Yeah.
What's wrong with
Chargers.
Carson Wentz?
Chargers are 3-0. I would have liked to see the Broncos come out with that one,
True.
but Chiefs remain 2 back. As the Chargers right now, this isn't a hot take. They're the team to beat right now in the AFC West. Not all-encompassing. It's obviously the Chiefs. They've won $1 million in a row. But Chargers right now atop the division at 3-0. And then Indiana Jones, your thoughts on Danny Dimes and how one nickname sort of becomes a different
Flip the
nickname.
script. Yeah. You know what's just funny?
41-20.
I keep on coming back. Somebody said this on Twitter, I think. I had this also independent thought too, but Brian Dable might get fired not because of the way that the Giants are right now, but because Daniel Jones is so good right now on a different team. Because he was so bad with the Giants. And if you have Daniel Jones, he's terrible. You pay him all this money, and then you ship him off to no man's land. He was a backup I believe he was the backup in Minnesota last year. And then coming over to the Colts and having the year that he's having right now, very funny to me.
Right.
By the way, did you see the Giants? Russ Wilson got benched.
Yes,
it's
that
Jackson
just came
Dart
out today
time.
as well.
Jackson
There's some other news. Jackson Dart is going to now be the starter for the Giants. We'll see if that lasts for a while. A couple other notes before we throw to Leshon. A couple college football coaches relieved of their duties, and unfortunately, Mike Gundy, pronounced fired at the age of 40.
Can you believe that? He's 40.
40,
he's got
and
his whole life ahead of him.
He has been pronounced fired.
He's a man. He's 40.
We were just talking yesterday about how Oklahoma State might let him go, and sure enough, they didn't even give him the rest of the season.
Which, by the way, I had a immediate take that aged like milk because I think I said that they will never fire him
Mike within 24 hours.
It's going to be essentially he's going to retire, which means they're going to ask him to retire. No, they straight up fired him.
Yep. And that's how it was put. It wasn't relieved of his duties or anything like that.
No, he was just fired.
Yeah.
Do you know who their interim is?
Who's that?
Doug Meacham.
Former
KU offensive
legend.
coordinator. That's right. Doug Meacham.
Doug Meacham. I didn't see that.
Tate actually said this. Matt Tate said that they should have just Clint Bowen do it. Why not?
They should, man.
Why not?
do.
He's there. He's a charming man. He knows football
for sure.
I think he's still on the squad as well. I'm actually wondering if Gunnar Gundy, because I know Gunnar Gundy right now is a grad assistant on Oklahoma State's staff. Does Gunnar leave with his dad, or does he stick around?
You never know. Hey, I like the Clint Bowen poll by Matt Tate, though. Speaking of charming guys, Matt Tate, I'd love to have him on the show sometime. He does great work for R1S1 Sports. Would love to get him in studio at some point. Deshaun Foster, everybody's favorite coach, UCLA's coach. He was fired over the weekend.
Where's UCLA?
The greatest opening press conference of all time. Oh, my God. We were just rewatching it earlier today. Big Ten opening press conference for UCLA. I know you guys don't know a lot about UCLA, but we're in LA. It's us and USC.
Oh man,
so
UCLA.
Good.
They are in a bad. I mean, Nico Iamaleava,
43-10. They lost to Utah. They lost to New Mexico State.
Yeah,
and that game wasn't particularly close.
No.
Yeah, rough start.
They are in a bad way right now.
Yeah.
Is this ending up being potentially the worst transfer in history with Nico?
My God, yeah.
Because
he
wanted
bad.
$4 million from Tennessee. They said, no, we can do $3 million. He said, I want more. And then he transfers to UCLA for $1.5 million, substantially less. And they're the worst program I've ever seen in my life. They're so bad. This man is going to be working at an Enterprise Rent-A-Car after the season because he's not going to get any looks whatsoever to play professional football. He looks bad.
Kind of a shocking move, at least to me. It hasn't been framed that way the last couple of days, but Bruce Pearl retiring from Auburn. I mean, he's got another roster that could go to a Final Four. 65 years old, obviously the best basketball coach in Auburn history, and top 5 or 10 coach in the game right now. Similar timing to what it was last year when Tony Bennett stepped away from Virginia. Just kind of a curious move there by Bruce Pearl. But now Stephen Pearl, his son, is taking over. 38-year-old is going to be the new head coach.
Yeah, I mean, power to him, right? I mean, Bruce Pearl has had a great run. I know as Auburn's head coach, like you said, probably a top 5 coach as of right now. I'm confident in saying that. I think he's a fantastic head coach. A little too sweaty for my taste, but I still think he's fun. I will say this: Kansas, I believe, has one. No, it got taken up by Ginugala. Is that correct? Or does Kansas have one more open roster?
They do not have any open rosters.
They do not have any open.
KU's done,
then never
as far
mind.
as I know.
That was going.
As far as I know.
That answered my question. I was going to say, because whenever a head coach leaves, there is technically a 30-day window where players on that team can transfer out.
Right.
So I was wondering, hey, does Kansas even take a look
Well,
at it? But if Kansas doesn't have
my understanding is they don't. It's the scholarship.
Yeah, I think
everything's gotten
Ginugala
confusing.
took that last
Everything's
one.
gotten
I think
confusing.
you're right.
So, but yeah, Ginugala, of course, a guy we haven't talked about a lot, but he'll get some minutes this year, I'm sure, in a backup point guard role. Hey, let's talk KU football and hear from running back Leshon Williams, who had 129 yards on the ground and 2 total touchdowns in the win on Saturday.
Talk about just what this win says about Kansas opening up conference play.
That we're explosive. That we can do it all on the ground. We can do it through the air. I feel like it was a complete game from the defense all the way to the offense and to special teams. Truthfully.
Speaking of explosive, walk us through that touchdown run we saw. Moves, speed, late acceleration. I mean, it was a run that had it all. How did it feel for you?
You know, it really going through my head, right? So let me tell y'all the truth. It was about the 4th quarter. I'm like, we got to finish. And it's time for me to get out of the game. So I'm like, all right, this is my chance. If only way I can get out of the game fast if I go score. And I seen open space. I got to give credit to the offensive line. They made a hole for me. And then you see our receivers block hard down the field. And Bryson, he saved me at the end. So I got in his zone.
Coach Leipold said he told you that he didn't know you could run that fast.
Yeah, he did tell me that.
What'd you tell him back?
I hope you know I can now.
Quite a different stat when you look at the stats in the rushing game this week as opposed to the Missouri game. What was the difference? Was it just the opponent, or did you guys change some things?
I wouldn't say it was the opponent. I feel like it was just coming down to us executing. We was just close on a lot of things last week, and I feel like this week we had a chip on our shoulder, and we just put it together.
Coach Leipold mentioned over the course of the week, maybe it's started to seem to you like this might have to be a big game for you with Highshaw kind of ailing a little bit. When did it kind of come clear to you that you'd have to take on a big responsibility in this game?
I always say Highshaw a tough dude, man. You never know him. He probably played through a lot of stuff. So truthfully, it just comes down to general. You should always practice like you're gonna be that guy. So it didn't change anything the way I practice. So it just truthfully just stay ready. So we gotta get ready.
And then in the game when he went out early on, how does that change your mindset at that point? Or does it at all, I guess?
Say that again?
Yeah, so when he went out early.
Oh, you said when he went out early?
Yeah.
I really still have the same mindset. I mean, I feel like when the opportunity comes, you gotta be ready. So truthfully, I hope my brother get back next week. Whatever that's gonna take, I hope he back. I hope because we're gonna need everybody. But it really didn't change anything for me. Truthfully, I wanted to just do the same thing.
What did you see from this, running back room today? A lot of guys getting some good touches. Line giving you guys a lot of space to work with. What did you guys learn from this unit tonight?
They tough, man. All the O-line tough. I feel like we got a lot of tough running backs, a lot of do-it-all running backs with Johnny, Harry, me, Deuce. I feel like we got one of the best running back rooms in the nation. I feel like as the season goes on, we're going to prove that.
Your other touchdown on that wheel right out of the backfield. Just walk us through that play. What makes it so effective? You guys have had some success on that play this year.
I think it all started with just us selling the fake, getting the run game going a little bit. Truthfully, JD being a threat, a lot of teams focused in on him, so they might just drop us on the fake, and that's mainly the thing.
You had one receiving touchdown at Iowa. Do you remember that one?
Yep, it was a screen, Western Michigan.
Does this prove that you're as good catching the ball as you are running? Because you were fluid on that play.
I mean, I hope so, man. I feel I had a couple drops in my career, man. When I was young, just not doing the little things by looking the ball in. So that was one of my main things this year. I wanted to make sure I take advantage of all the opportunities I get in the passing game.
That's KU running back Leshon Williams after the win on Saturday. After this, we're going to hear from KU Athletics Hall of Famer Gary Woodland. Thanks for watching on KansasNation.com.
Hey, this is Cole Ballard, and you're watching KansasNation.com.
Welcome back live at the Kansas Nation studios for Rock Chalk Sports. Hey, the 2019 U.S. Open champion and KU grad Gary Woodland was honored and elected into the Kansas Athletics Hall of Fame a couple weeks ago. His induction ceremony was on Friday. Let's hear Gary.
You've received plenty of awards in your time. What kind of distinguishes this one from the rest?
This one surprised me. Like I said, when I came here, this isn't what I was playing for. Came here to chase my dreams, and KU gave me that opportunity. And to be recognized for this and for what I've been able to do it means the world to me. I love this place. I love everything about it. And it's special to have my name engraved into their history forever.
You said it surprised you, but was there ever a moment where this sort of came into your mind at all, that this was a possibility?
I think when you come back and you walk through the Hall of Fame, you'd wish you'd get in there someday, but you never know, right? And KU's got some amazing athletes, some big names in that Hall of Fame. So I'll say how proud I am to have my name in there, to be able to walk my kids when I come back for a game and walk my kids through there and show them that anything's possible. It's pretty cool.
Growing up a fan, what do you think a young Gary Woodland would think about this?
He wouldn't believe it. He wouldn't believe it at all. I can promise you that. I've been a fan here my whole life. Came to basketball games as a kid. So now being able to put my name in history here is something beyond my dreams.
You talked about the support KU has given you or gave you during a difficult time. How did that kind of change or deepen your relationship with the youth?
I think it deepened it more than anything. They've always supported me. KU's always been a massive part of my life, especially since 2003 when I came here. But you want to associate yourself with people that you're close to, and KU's became family for sure. I've had a tough journey, and it's been documented, but KU's helped me. They've got me in with doctors. They've helped me through this medical process when they didn't have to. You know, I've graduated. I'm not even living here, but I've moved all my health care back here because KU's taken such good care of me. So it's they're a special part of my life.
In the speech, they referred to you as Manning and Chamberlain. What do you think of that? You're probably on the Mount Rushmore of KU.
That's probably too much for me. These are guys that I met Jock Vaughn last night. He was one of my favorites. Danny was my favorite. Jock took over after that when he came through. Just to have my name even associated, thrown around in the same sentence is special. Those guys are still up on my Mount Rushmore. I'm still looking up at all those guys.
Think this will ever sink in for you?
Not yet. This is an emotional night for me. I just got the call a couple weeks ago, and I think maybe when I get back to Allen Fieldhouse and see my name in there and I'm able to show my kids, I think it'll sink in then. But this is still a lot for me to take in.
Tell us about your excitement for the Ryder Cup.
I'm pumped for next week. It's gonna be a big deal. We're headed up there tomorrow. The team's getting in the next day. But it's been a special to be part of this process the last couple of months to get to know the guys on a deeper level. It's Bethpage in New York. It's going to be absolute madness. The weather's going to be perfect, so it's going to be a lot. But we got some young guys coming in there. We're trying to get them ready for what to expect. But it should be a special week. I'm looking forward to it.
How do you maintain your Kansas roots, even on the big stage like the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I think that's just the way I was raised. You know, I was blessed to grow up here. I think Midwest morals. You take care of the people around you, and that's, you know, I've been preaching to the Ryder Cup guys as well. Take care of the guy standing next to you. We're more than just ourselves. We're nothing if we're not all together. So getting those guys to buy in and to trust the guy standing next to them, and hopefully they all do that, and we have a great week next week.
How do you think you played this year, and what's ahead next year in terms of your schedule?
Yeah, this week was a big step in the right direction. I've been struggling for a couple years now, and usually when guys get older, they lose their speed and their putting. I had statistically my best putting year of my career. My speed was extremely up, so I'm excited about my future. I still have some hurdles to get over from a health standpoint, but I'm going to take it easy the rest of this fall, get healthy, and I look forward to even a bigger and better year next year.
What does it mean for you to be able to represent the university on the world stage at the Ryder Cup?
It's everything, right? I mean, everywhere I go around the world, it doesn't matter where I've played, I hear Rock Chalk at least once. In the States, I hear it a lot, but I've heard it in Australia, I've heard it in Japan, and everyone around me gives me a hard time. Like, all these people go to KU, and I'm like, I don't know if they did or not, but they know I'm associated with this university. So it's awesome to hear Rock Chalk. I'm assuming I'll still hear it next week, even though we're going to be Team USA. It's an honor to represent University of Kansas.
I think when people think golf sometimes, they don't necessarily think Kansas.
Yeah.
But yet here you are.
And hopefully I can be an example for the men and women that come behind me, that coming here is just the start. And it's a step to be able to follow your dreams. I came here with big dreams, and I've been able to accomplish a lot of those, and I'm still dreaming and I'm still working. But coming to Kansas is the right step in the right direction.
What's it been like watching from afar, or maybe up close in some cases, the progress that these programs have made in recent years?
It's awesome. It really is. I mean, when I came here, I hid under a tree in the back of the range. Now we got buildings with heaters and music and all kinds of stuff going. It's awesome to see, but it's awesome. I had a great opportunity here. It's nice to be able to give back and hopefully provide a small part of what the opportunity of the kids that come through here as well. Just to give them a chance, like I said, to have the opportunity to follow their dreams. That's what it's all about.
This is Daniel Highshaw, and you're watching KansasNation.com.
Sean Kellerman, Dan Courtwright here in the Kansas Nation studios. Thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday. Also listening on ESPN Kansas City. All right, Dan, it's a top 10 Tuesday, and I know this one you've been, this one's been marinating for a while.
Yeah, I've been sitting on this one for quite a while. As you know, I'm bad with names. So I tend to pull out different, androgynous, I guess, names for people every now and then. So today I'm doing my top 10 things to call your friends.
I like that. My favorite, honestly, is when you know someone's name and then they call you something and it immediately clicks. They don't know my name.
They don't know your name. Yeah, no, exactly. I had a run in. Quick story. I had a run in. There's some girl at a bar, and I thought that I knew her.
Oh no!
Because she came up to me and she's like, "How you doing?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, so good. Like, how are you? Like, it's been so long." I had no idea who she was. I found out she had no idea who I was either.
Oh.
She thought I looked like somebody, and I thought
Humanity
she looked like somebody.
Humanity at its finest.
Yeah, man. So hey, we were just being friendly.
That is great.
Hey, all right. So let's get this started on my top 10 things to call your friends. With number 10, I'm gonna go with pal. You ever pull out pal?
I do.
In a non-derogatory way. And I think
that's what's gonna be key about a lot of these.
I think later, maybe next week, I'll do a top 10 worst things to call your friends.
Right.
That's FCC
Would
regulated.
pal also be on that list?
Pal might be on that list because there's a lot of them that could, like buddy, like it could be nice.
Is buddy on here somewhere?
No, it's not.
Okay, and I call people buddy when they're my buddy.
Sure, right.
If they're not your buddy,
yeah, but it's like, hey,
and
bud.
you call them buddy. No, that's not gonna.
What am I, 6? What are you talking?
Yeah,
but
if they're my buddy, I'll call you buddy.
Pal is a fun. It's a classic. It's good. It rolls. Hey, pal. Hey, how you doing, pal?
Yeah.
What's going on, pal?
Pal is a good like uncle to nephew thing.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, pal.
Hey, pal.
Hey,
what's going on?
Yeah. No, I like pal. It's. I wonder where that came from, but it's classic.
It is classic. And again, I think it's funny in like family gatherings in that scenario because like your dad's not going to call you pal, right?
Right.
I mean,
yeah. No, it's.
I mean,
hey, what's going on, pal?
I don't know. Like, I think there are probably other names on here your dad would call you, but it's such like a uncle, like kind of auxiliary type thing.
But you call your friends pal?
I don't use the word pal.
Old buddy, old pal.
I really don't. I do use the word buddy though.
Old buddy, old pal.
I'm surprised buddy's not on here.
Old buddy, old pal's a great one. See, buddy, I feel like that's. I've been in more scenarios where buddy has been derogatory than not derogatory.
Derogatory in reality or in your mind?
In probably my mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Which I feel, I don't know, whatever. I like pal. What's wrong? I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
whatever.
Pal,
that's fine.
Old buddy, old pal.
That's fine. It's deserving of number 10.
What's going on, pal? Hey, pal, how are you?
Hey, pal.
What's going on, pal? Hey, number 9. Number 9 on my top 10 things to call your friends. I like this one because I pull it out quite a bit. Homie.
Oh,
what's going on, homie?
Dude,
You're a big homie guy.
I use homie all
You're
the
a
time.
homie
I
guy.
do.
You're
I
a-
do. I don't
yeah.
use it. I don't use it as much as another one that you're probably going to have on this list. But I do break out. I do break out the homie.
What's going on, homie?
My female friends love when I call him homie.
Oh, isn't that great? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big homie guy. Homie is like, I mean, that's just because that's like a second time you meet up with the person, right? First time you meet them, you're friendly. You're like, hey, I'm Daniel. Oh, I'm whatever.
Well, because
And
the
then
second time you don't know their name still.
Right, and then second time, but you want them to know that you like them.
Yeah.
Right. So you
And
go,
that you're
so you
hip.
go, yeah. So you're like, you're not just my friend, you're my homie.
Yeah.
Even though I don't remember your name.
Plus, that proves that you're
And
hip.
you're hip.
You're in. Yes.
hip,
You're
you're
in with
in,
the like.
you understand the lingo.
The YouTubes and the Tic Tacs, like all that.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get the lingo. I
Right.
think that's the important thing. Homie is in the nomenclature. Am I using that right?
Yes. Nice word, man.
Thank you.
You've used androgynous and nomenclature in the last 5
Henry
minutes.
Greenstein
You
would be
must
beaming with
you
joy
must be
right
growing
now.
up. How about that?
I know. I am. I like homie though.
Yeah.
Hey,
I do like homie. It's a little superfluous for me.
Do
but
you ever go, hey, that's my homie over there, or is it always face to face? Hey, what's up, homie?
That's it's
whenever I do
it's
homie-
always face to face or via text.
I'm
if
more-
I'm pointing to somebody over there, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's my buddy John."
Anytime I do happy birthday to somebody, I'll say happy birthday, homie.
That's the song that you
when
know all the words
That's
to.
when I pull it out. I do know all the
Gun
words
to your
to
head,
happy
you know
birthday.
all the
gun
words
to,
to that
gun to my
song.
head.
Yeah.
I know all the words. To
I
happy
always I
birthday.
hated that joke when you would say it. Gun to your head. What's the song? You know all the words to. You say
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
But in reality, you don't because what's the name of the person?
That's true. Very
Changes.
true. I'm gonna go with all right. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. By the way, same beat, same. No. Wait, hold on.
Is that Twinkle?
No. Sorry,
No, it's not Twinkle,
I've
Twinkle.
got it mixed up. The ABCs and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star are the same.
Oh my God, you're right.
Did you not know this?
How have I never known that?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Wow,
Man, you learn
that
something
is
new every day, huh?
crazy.
Yeah.
What
I
about the
love that.
law firm of Schmidt and John? Did they know
Man,
that
my-
Twinkle Twinkle and ABCs have the same beat?
My homie over here doesn't
That's
know
great.
that.
Okay,
Can you believe
Elijah,
that?
you sing the ABCs. Easton, you sing Twinkle Twinkle right now, and we'll see
Ready?
if you.
You can't hear him on mics.
We got to get the mics hot for that. All right, number 8.
Number 8 on my top 10 things to call your friends. I like this one. People don't pull it out very often. I'm a big fan of it. Playboy. What's going on, Playboy? I like that one. That's a fun one.
I don't like it.
That's fun. That is like
What's it
oh, what's
insinuating?
Yeah, I know. Just hey, what's going on, Playboy? How are you? No, it's not. And it has nothing to do with the lewd magazine, if you will.
What magazine?
You don't worry about it. You'll
Okay.
go to a Barnes and Noble. You'll see it maybe. No, it's just it's a fun one. What's going on, Playboy?
Okay.
It's
I'm good with it.
fun. It's loose. It's it's there. I like that one.
It's there. And how would you define a Playboy?
A Playboy is a friend that you were acquaintances with and you haven't seen him in about 5 years. And you go up to him because you know his name, right? You know his name. You guys hung out probably a few times, maybe in a group of friends. Lost touch with him all of a sudden. What's up, Playboy? What's going on?
I could see a very specific scenario.
This has happened to me before.
I think the only time I would call somebody Playboy as a nickname would be if me and this other guy were meeting up in Vegas for a third guy's bachelor party, and I have met this person before, but I'm not particularly friends with him.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on,
That's
Playboy?
the scenario. Both of us are wearing like our flamingo polos.
Right.
And we go, and then haven't seen this dude, but I know I'm about to spend 3 days with him.
Yeah.
Don't really remember his name, but I know that I've been introduced to him at some point.
Yeah. Right.
What's up, Playboy?
What's up, Playboy?
Yeah, it's perfect.
What's up, Playboy? I love that.
That's the scenario that
It's
I would
fast,
use that.
it's loose, and plus it like I don't know, just it's all encompassing. Like when you call someone Playboy, like you have control of that conversation. You know, it's just it's not degrading, but it lets them know, like, hey, I'm in charge here. You know what I mean? I like that one a lot. All right, let's go with number 7. Number 7 on my top 10 things to call your friends. This is the one that you do when you don't remember their name. Man.
Oh.
Hey, man.
Yes.
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, how are you, man? Oh, man, man.
See, and that goes back to what I said before, number 10, which was that's the response you get.
Yeah.
Like I go up to somebody, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Gabe?
Yeah, really. Oh, hey, so
Hey, man.
hey, man,
That is,
hey, man.
Oh, that is so
Oh,
true.
oh,
That is the
man.
number one thing that
Man,
people
how are
say
you?
when they don't know your name.
Hey,
Hey, man.
man.
Hey, man.
Yeah, no, it's like at that, but also like I use it a lot. Like go through my text.
Yeah, because you don't know anybody's name.
All the guests.
Can you name 3 people on our softball team that aren't me, you, and your girlfriend?
So we have
The one guy.
so not me, you or my girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay, that narrows it down a lot. Jeez, this is gonna be tough. Give me a sec.
Give me 25 good reasons why you can't
Sit,
remember
let me
people's
sit
names.
on it, and I'll get back to you on that. But no,
Yeah.
it's so yeah. Hey man, hey.
Yeah.
But I use it all the time, and especially in text. You look through all the guests that we've had on the show, like Henry or Haney or whoever, right? It's always like, hey, can you come on? And they're like, cool. I go, hey, thanks, man, appreciate it.
Right.
Hey, thanks, man.
Right.
Like it's
True. I'm surprised
so-
man isn't higher thinking of it in that
so,
context.
aside from not knowing their name, I use it a lot.
Right.
But by thanking people, hey,
Right.
thanks, man, appreciate it. I say
That-
I say and
that's
by
a
the way,
good point. I do
not-
that a lot.
It's gender fluid too. It's not.
Oh,
I say
totally.
I say it to women
Just
too.
like homie.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Both
My
are
my
gender
girlfriend's like,
fluid.
what?
Homie.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Is
That's
big.
that's
Dude,
the
and
one.
think about like walking over to, this is totally hypothetical, but walking over to Jimmy John's to ordering a sandwich.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say to the guy who hands you the sandwich?
Oh, hey, thanks, man. Thanks
Every
for my
time.
beach club on Slice Sweet.
Every time.
Every time, every single time. No, hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I also use a hell yeah, man, a lot.
You do.
Which
You
is
do.
I also
Yeah.
that's my other way of saying thanks, man.
Yeah.
Instead of saying thanks, man, I'll say hell yeah, man.
So true.
Hell
You're
yeah.
big hell yeah guy.
I'm a hell yeah. Hell yeah.
You like having the control with the
Yeah,
hell
it's
yeah.
nice. Yeah. All right, number 6 on my top 10 things to call your friends. This one had to be on there. I don't pull it out a lot, but I have pulled it out when deemed appropriate. It's bro.
Yeah.
And I'm not
you got to be careful with that one.
So I'm not a big bro guy, but I will pull it out every now and then. Hey, what's going on, bro? I see, but I don't say it a lot. I think maybe it's more of a text thing than anything.
Yeah. That's one that I really don't use that often.
Well, yeah, because you're 1,000 years old.
Well, obviously. What? And people who are 1,000 years old don't use the word bro? Is that how
No,
it is?
it's a lot of my lord and my lady, right? That was your era,
I
right?
think so.
Yeah, sire.
So I'm trying to think of when I say bro, because that one I'm very cautious about. Because I don't want it to be degrading.
Whenever I have a couple drinks in me, I start to pull it out more.
Yeah. Or like casually, if I'm out in like a public setting and there's a new guy. Again, I think it's one of those where you kind of have to be bros with them.
Yeah,
like, hey,
I
what's
think
up, bro?
So yeah.
Or if you're just meeting somebody, and again, maybe you've had a couple drinks.
But
what's up, bro?
There's such a fine line between that and like just becoming a full-on Gen Zer. They use bruh, BRUH a lot.
Brah.
Well, brah, that's like California. Henry just will not stop calling people bra.
I know, that's what he does.
It's insane. I mean, he's so laid back, that guy.
I know.
Just
But
such
hey,
a
that's just what it is.
It's hanging loose.
Californians.
He's got his surfboard on a Subaru. Man, he's
not far from Hawaii.
No,
and
absolutely
you can
not.
tell.
Yeah, but bruh, like kids say bruh a lot.
Yeah,
bruh. Man, I don't like that.
My 12-year-old
I'm a bro
niece.
guy. I'm a bro. I'm old enough to be like, hey, I'm bro is about as far as I go. I've never said the word bruh except for like literally just now like 5 times. But I'm explaining.
Stop
something.
saying that. By the
I know.
way.
I am going.
My
to. I'm never
12-year-old
gonna say it again.
niece. My 12-year-old niece would continue to say bruh.
Tough.
For
yeah.
it's so bad. It's like,
Mm.
I mean, it's funny because she's a 12-year-old girl and she keeps saying bruh.
Of course.
It's like, you're calling everybody bruh.
Yeah.
Calling her dad bruh.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. If I call my parents bruh or bro, like they'd be like, what are you?
What does your dad call you when he doesn't call you Dan?
My dad.
Yeah.
He's only ever called me Dan or Daniel.
He's got to call you like Bud or something. Nothing.
No, I don't think my dad really has a nickname for me. I think it's
Really?
always just so like Dan is the nickname for Daniel,
Right, but
which I go by. By the way, if you ever see me, I don't care what you call me.
I have been
that's
in the
my-
room many times that somebody has asked you what you prefer, and that's
and
what you said.
What do I say every time?
You don't care?
I
Yeah.
do. I could not care less.
Piper gives you the Daniel.
D man. Easton saying D-man.
Piper
gives me.
She gives you the Daniel.
She gives me the Daniel. My mom.
She'll
So
full
it's,
name you.
it's yeah. Well, so it's like Dan is more laid back, but when I'm in like trouble or it's serious, it's Daniel. My mom, Daniel Joseph Peter. That was when I was. That's what I knew she'd use.
No, totally.
Two of my
well,
four
that's a
middle
classic.
names.
That's a classic mom thing, right?
Yeah.
They middle name you as you will.
Yeah. I go. See, that's the thing. Everyone called me Dan in college. I went by Daniel my whole life. Everyone started calling me Dan in college. I think it's because either A, they got lazy, or B, they're like, you're not worth 2 syllables to me.
It's too long to write too. I mean, just if it's Dan, it's Dan.
It's clean. I don't mind Dan. I genuinely don't care though.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. Number 6.
Number five.
That's crazy. Hey, number 5. Number 5 on my top 10 things to call your friends. You're gonna love this one. Cowboy.
I was wondering if this was on there.
Oh,
yes.
Hey, easy there, Cowboy.
Cowboy. Yes.
Oh, that's so good. Cowboy is
that
one
is
of
a
my
nickname for my dad. People call my dad Cowboy, and I don't know why.
Dan Kellerman. They
Yes.
call him Cowboy.
Yep.
Oh.
I
If I
don't know why.
I've never met your dad. If I ever meet your dad, I'm gonna call him Cowboy. I
Yeah.
will only ever call him Cowboy.
Cowboy. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Cowboy?
On board.
That's like
I'm on board with
it. But it's similar to Playboy.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, hey, Playboy. Hey, Cowboy.
Yeah, but
hey,
again,
what's going on, Cowboy?
Cowboy is definitely more. What's the word? I mean, Playboy is more kind of laissez-faire in
Playful.
Vegas with some bros.
Yeah,
if you
right.
will. Cowboy is more of a respect term.
Yeah, but it's for like anybody too. Like
Yeah.
you don't even have to have ever met them before. It's like, hey, what's going on, Cowboy? Like to like a waitress at a diner.
I don't know if that would work.
Hey, what's going on, Cowboy?
I don't know that I agree about that one,
whatever.
but yeah, Cowboy. That's solid.
Cowboy's so funny to me. I'll pull that one out every once in a while. Hey, what's going on, Cowboy?
What's up, Cowboy?
Hey. This one isn't on there, but I say this a lot. I always go, howdy, partner.
Partner? Nice.
What's going on, partner? Hey, howdy, partner. Howdy, partner. Yeah, man, Cowboy. That's so good. That's so good.
That's good.
I love
I'm a
it.
fan.
Number 4. Number 4 on my top 10 things to call your friends. I don't pull this one out really ever. I can only imagine I maybe said it once, but I've been called it at like a store before where the person behind or like a gas station or something, or you're getting sliced meat or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Boss man. You get called boss man. I see, like, and you have to be.
Do you have boss on here?
So no. I only have boss man. I don't have boss.
Okay, so
'Cause I
boss
think
would
boss
definitely be
man
on
is
my
better.
list.
If I've been called boss man a couple of times, nothing makes you feel better. But I am not cool enough to call anybody boss man. Like I can't walk into a room and be like, "What's going on, boss man?" Can't do it. It takes a certain kind of je ne sais quoi. I don't know. What's the word?
Spell that.
No. It takes a certain kind of like just like a certain kind of person, just a certain kind of energy to be like, hey, what's going on, boss man?
See,
It's very New York. It's very New York.
I don't
It's very
love the
tough
boss
and grumble.
man, but boss I use all the
going on,
time.
boss?
That's a classic guy at Jimmy John's thing too.
Yeah. Hey,
Thanks,
hey,
boss.
thanks, boss.
What's up, boss? I also use Hoss. a
Yeah.
lot.
No, you do use Hoss.
Do
a lot.
you have Hoss?
I don't have Hoss on here.
It's another one of those. It doesn't matter if it's a guy or a gal. I mean,
Right.
you
Hey,
just-
it's
what's
going
up,
on. Hey,
Hoss?
thanks, Hoss. Hey, appreciate it, Hoss. No, boss man, dude. You get called boss man by you're slicing meat, and you go up to the deli counter and they go, "What'll be, boss man?" I'm like, hey,
Yeah. That's
Does
true.
that- do
It's
you mean-
good. I mean,
that
it's
mean-
good.
does
You
that
gotta
mean I
you
run
gotta
this
earn
place?
that. You gotta earn that.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels
sure,
good.
yeah.
It feels like you accomplished something
Right.
by being called boss. Like he respects you.
The guy
He
at
respects
the
you.
at the deli at the grocery store, I think, is who I continue to
Mhm,
picture. So I think
100%.
that was a good poll.
He's got a thick New York accent. Hey, what's going
I'm
on,
about
boss
to make
man?
you a fire sandwich.
Hey, what's going on, boss man?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Boss and Haas, though.
Yeah.
They would both be on mine.
Boss man. Number three on my top 10 things to call your friends. You're gonna like this one. Big dog.
Big dog. Yes.
Big dog. I
Yes.
use big dog a lot. And it's even funnier when it's somebody little, like Easton over there. Easton, he's 5'1", 100 and
He's got hops.
nothing pounds. And you go, well, hey, what's going on, big dog? Big dog. That's a good one, man. Big dog is it's a classic. That's just another classic.
Do you
like big dog too? You use it.
Not as much as I like big cat.
Yeah, you call
Is
me.
that on here?
So it's not on here. So you call.
That's your official nickname now, I think.
No, but here's the thing. this is where it can get confusing because there's a Barstool guy named Big Cat.
Right.
And I found out
right.
that his name is also Dan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, his name is Dan
I
Katz.
never knew his real name.
His name is Dan Katz.
So
That's
that
where he
makes
got
a
Big
little
Cat.
bit. That makes a little bit more sense.
And he also is a bigger guy with a mustache.
There you go.
So it's very it's very so there can't be two Dan Big Cats with
I
mustaches.
really like the Big
One
Cat
of them was
nickname.
substantially more famous than the other.
Yeah, I
by the way.
really like the Big Cat nickname. I don't know why. I just it just fits.
Big Cat. Yeah, I know. Big Cat. Hey,
Yeah.
Big Cat. I
So,
like Big Dog. Big Dog.
Big Dog.
Start barking.
Yeah. The dogs are barking. No, I don't know. They both work. Big
Yeah.
Dog, I kind of save for more of a big dog type person
So
in
you
my life.
don't-
But
you-
big cats,
So it's never
Anybody.
it's never in jest. It's always to a bigger guy.
no, I'm saying somebody who, you know,
A big guy.
maybe I'm trying to not say this in a rude way. Somebody who has earned a lot of respect,
Sure.
I think, gets the Big Dog nickname.
Ah.
Whereas
no, I'm
Big Cat could be,
anybody.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm with you.
You like that?
Big Dog is yeah. Big Dog and Boss Man are ones you have to earn.
Yeah, agree.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
nobody can just be a big
Yeah,
dog
yeah.
or a boss man. No,
Yeah,
I'm with you. Let's see. That was number 3. Number
Yep.
2 on my top 10 things to call your friends. One half of the law firm.
Oh, I thought you were going to continue with that.
No.
Yes. Sorry, I should have had a stronger.
Isn't that great?
I should have had a
You
stronger.
should have had a stronger.
Yes, I should have had a stronger reaction.
That's what
to
you
that.
call somebody.
Yes. Oh my God. There's
One half
one
of the
half
law
of the
firm.
law firm
That's
over
what
there.
You call, hey,
or
oh,
a
there he
third
is.
of the law firm.
Yeah, or just like a part.
anytime somebody walks in a door.
Yeah, hey, there he's part of. Hey, that's part owner of the law firm.
Yeah.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, look, one half of the law firm just walked
Hey,
in.
yeah,
No,
right
no,
there.
That's perfect.
One half of the law firm.
Yeah, that's great.
It's so good. We
That's
use
great.
that all the time.
Oh man,
For
at least it makes us laugh.
And you know
I'll
what?
tell
You know
that
what's
much.
great
At least
is that
it makes us laugh.
So the law firm, it has to be 2 or more people, and we've boiled it down to 1 person now, just by making them a part of the law firm. So anybody in the world
Yeah.
is a part of a law firm now.
Yeah.
That's the way law firms
But
work.
you and I are a welcoming duo, so we're
Yeah.
fine with that.
So are we?
It
So
doesn't matter who it is.
that's
Yes,
the thing.
we are obviously a law firm.
But here's the thing:
we have people who wanted
what-
us to call our show the law firm.
We do. We actually important people wanted us to call it the law firm. Is it Kellerman and Courtwright or Courtwright and Kellerman?
I think you. I think.
You can go
see,
alphabetical.
Easton says alphabetical. I think the shorter. I think
right.
the name with fewer syllables has to be second.
Kellerman. Okay, so you have 3, and then Courtwright.
Kellerman and Courtwright.
Kellerman and Courtwright. Okay.
Like we talked about, you can't have Todd and Alexander, but you
Alexander
can
and Todd,
have
right.
Alexander and
No,
Todd.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you there, which is weird.
And I mean
think
no offense.
By the way, I think my last name has more letters than yours, and it has less
That's
syllables.
true. Joe Courtwright
Yes.
has the exact same number of syllables as
One
you.
less and
But
one less letter.
How about
Isn't that
that?
weird? I know.
Crazy. You got to
Shout
look
out
at
Joe
you
Courtwright.
got to look at an ID real close
No
to see that.
relation. And then number 1 on my top 10 things to call your friends, the one that I use the most. If I had a nickel for every time I used this word, I would be comfortable. And it's dude.
Yeah, it's dude.
Dude, it's got to be dude.
It's
dude,
dude. I say it all the time too.
Dude, like hey, here's the thing, dude. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. That is my go-to.
It's gotten so popular that it's replaced like
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
You're trying to think of your next thought, dude.
Dude, and so dude.
Yeah.
Dude. No, and it's like it also dude. Because it gets their attention too, but it also
this is quality radio.
Yeah, no, I know, right?
Yeah.
And this is
I have one that you don't have that I use all the time. We went over other ones that I use: Boss, Hoss, Big Cat. Which I'm gonna be like the next couple days be thinking about this. Like we'll come in tomorrow and Easton and Elijah.
We'll have some more,
What's up? But the number one thing I use, and I hope that my wife is watching somewhere because she will know exactly what I'm gonna say. The number one thing that I use that definitely also can be guys, gals, whatever. My brother.
My brother. You do use that a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, brother's a good one, but my
See,
brother.
but it works for guys and gals. It doesn't matter. What's up, my
Yeah.
brother?
What's
It
up, my
doesn't matter.
brother?
It does
Yeah.
not matter who it is.
It's so
'cause
great.
everybody can be my brother.
Yeah, you use that a lot. You use that so much.
I do.
Also, but it has to be my brother, because if you just say
Yeah.
brother, then you start sounding like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, no, it's not brother.
Right
You can't
on,
do that.
brother.
Yeah. What's up,
Yeah.
my brother?
What's up,
No,
my brother?
I
love
mean,
that. I
oh
have
my
I have a
God.
couple
My
honorable
wife could
mentions.
probably go quite some time without ever hearing that. Yeah, honorable mentions.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, boss, Haas. I mean, there's a lot. I have a kiddo. I think that one's fun. Hey, kid. Hey, here's looking at you, kid. You never seen Casablanca. That's fine. And then grandpa, but that's for you only.
Yeah, of course.
Other than that, yeah, that's all I got.
Oh, that's great. I love it. That was our top 10 list. Top 10 things to call your friends. You had that one cooking for a while.
I did. I was
Well
sitting on
done.
that for
If
a
we
while.
missed anything, find us on Twitter at the Kansas Nation. Follow us on all of our socials: Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, the YouTubes, and the
Tic-tacs,
TikToks, of course.
course.
KansasNation.com as well. Also want to say big thanks to Miles Schneier and Crown Automotive for their partnership and helping make this happen. Excited about that partnership here at Kansas Nation. Hey, after this, we're talking a little KU soccer. Plus, we're going to hear from a couple more KU football players, Emmanuel Henderson and Dean Miller, after the big win on Saturday. Thanks for listening to ESPN Kansas City and watching KansasNation.com.
Hey, this is Cole Ballard, and you're watching KansasNation.com.
Welcome back to Rock Chalk Sports here on KansasNation.com. We heard from a lot of different Jayhawks earlier today, including KU head soccer coach Nate Lee and some players as well. They are off to their longest unbeaten streak to start a season ever, 7-0-2. They've got 10 conference games coming up, and it starts at least on the home slate with the matchup against Baylor on Thursday. They beat Oklahoma State, another shutout, 1-0, Dan, last Thursday.
Yeah, and I mean, we got to hear from Coach Nate Lee as well as some other players, but nobody really talked about Sophie Daw and kind of the stellar performances she's been having over this past year, right? We knew that she came on last year as a technically freshman, right? A redshirt freshman, really, and just had an outstanding year, and that's really carried over to this. Kansas is a very offensive heavy team, right? They're practically doubling everybody in either shots on goal or actually goals made, right? Kansas has only given up 8 goals all year. So that is a absolute credit. And yeah, there are obviously other defenders, and time of possession is huge in favor of Kansas, but in terms of the shots on goal that we've had and the amount of goals that we've given up, Kansas has only given up 8 goals. Sophie Daw has given up only 7 of those. We had another goalkeeper had to come in for about 30 minutes in one game and gave up a goal. But Sophie Daw has been absolutely electric all year. And Lexi Watts on the other side of the ball on the offense, she has 11 goals on the year. She has been stellar too. Her and Carolyn Castens have been awesome. And I know Carolyn Castens, she was in the news a little bit today as she was
she was recognized again.
Yeah, she was recognized for the Top Drawer Soccer National Team of the Week. Carolyn Castans was. So shout out to everybody on that squad. And Henry, I know Henry was there at that media availability today, asked kind of how they've handled essentially the increased pressure, right? Because last year they went in with no expectations whatsoever. New coach, a lot of new girls on the squad. They wound up winning the whole dang thing. They won the Big 12. Now you're coming in this year, you're on the longest unbeaten streak in program history in the last 25 years. I mean, it's a lot to live up to, and I think that they're handling it relatively well. And Coach Lee has a good head on his shoulders, and I think all those girls have a good head on their shoulders as well.
Absolutely, and they're up to number 14 in the United Soccer Coaches poll. They moved up 5 spots. They also have earned a number 9 ranking in Top Drawer Soccer and number 12 in the RPI. Not only do they have a really good Baylor team, who's a top 20 RPI team on Thursday at Rock Chalk Park, but they stay home for a Sunday matchup against number 10 TCU, who KU battled in the Big 12 championship last year and won the Big 12 tournament with a victory over the Frogs. So big weekend at Rock Chalk Park. And as we mentioned earlier in the show, KU volleyball starts their conference season at home Friday as they host Arizona State. Volleyball is 9-5, all 14 games away from home. It'll be great to see them with new head coach Matt Ulmer at Horge. KU football, let's go back and hear from some post-game comments. This time, wide receiver and Big 12 special teams player of the week, Emmanuel Henderson.
I won't get those speeds to probably Monday.
What do you feel?
Maybe a 22. Maybe a 22, yeah.
I like it.
What was that return like for you?
It was amazing. You know, that was my first collegiate one, so it was a blessing.
How much, I guess, did the first one you got give you confidence to do what you ended up doing?
Yeah, I was very confident after, you know, I broke loose kind of on the first one. I had a for sure feeling that I was going to get the second one if I had a chance.
Coach Leipold said you were told to fair catch the first one.
Yeah, I was.
What'd you see then that you're like, okay, I can't do that?
I mean, it was kind of short. You know, it wasn't in the end zone. And, you know, I felt like our guy was going to execute. You know, I trust our guys over there. So, you know.
So on your touchdown, what did you see?
I seen my guys, you know, executing the plays, you know, doing their job. And that made a way for me to create. They made a hole for me. And, you know, it paid off well.
Was there a moment where you thought you were gone?
After I broke the first tackle, I was like, yeah, I got it. Most definitely.
What do you think that play did for you guys emotionally to start off the second half of the score?
It definitely continued to make our momentum go up, and, you know, we just continued to build off that.
You had 6 catches today. What's it like getting like a high level of targets for the first time in your college career?
It feels amazing, you know. I'm just blessed, you know, thank the Lord. But I thank Jalen for continuing to trusting in me, not only me, but my teammates and the wide receiver group as it all, but I love it.
It didn't matter, but how close was your knee to not being down on that one?
It was very close,
Was
I felt
it?
like. Yeah, it was very close.
Yeah. You sold it pretty well.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
E-Man, of course, had that 94-yard kick return touchdown, plus a 44-yard kick return, 6 catches, 38 yards to lead the Jayhawks as well. Nice seeing him have a big game. And, of course, as I said, recognized by the Big 12. Dean Miller also maybe playing his best football. He tied with Blake Harreld for the team lead in tackles with 7. Dean Miller also had a sack, 1.5 TFLs, and a quarterback hurry. Let's hear from number 5 postgame.
For the rest of Big 12 play, I feel like we went out there and handled business. You know, can't be more happy with our performance as a team.
The defense kind of had a chip on its shoulder coming in today after the Mizzou game.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, we really emphasize on finishing the game. You know, once we get them in a good spot, just keeping them there, and, you know, just keep applying that pressure.
How do you think you handled their tempo? I mean, they're a fast-tempoed offense. You guys obviously handled it well, but what kind of went into that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a long week of preparation for that. We knew they were an up-tempo team, so that's all we were preparing for all week. Our offense throughout the whole week, scout team just giving us a good look. Just went in there feeling well prepared and knew what to expect, knew when to sub, and, you know, just had a solid game plan at the end of the day.
Is there a difference, I guess, preparing for a left-handed quarterback in terms of where his repercussions go, or does that not really matter? Okay.
No, I mean, there definitely is, especially depending on if it's a mobile quarterback. You know, usually if it's a right-handed quarterback, he wants to roll to his strong side. This time, being a left-handed quarterback, obviously, you kind of switch that mindset around a little bit.
How big of a statement was this to open conference play with?
I feel like it was a huge statement. You know, I feel like we went out there, showed what we could do both offensively and defensively. We played good complementary football. You know, like I said, I'll say it again, just can't be more happy with our play.
How do you feel like you guys were able to play defense against their tempo?
I feel like we handled it really well. I mean, like I was saying, just came in with a good game plan, you know, knowing that when they sub, we're going to sub too, and just, you know, knew how to handle it, didn't let it get the best of us, and, you know, just feel like we were well prepared at the end of the day.
Great seeing Dean Miller have a big game for KU. A lot of production from a lot of different players up front, and starting to see that depth that we talked about so much in the offseason, both on the interior and off the edge for KU. Hawks are 3-1, 1-0 in Big 12 play. Next up, Cincinnati on Saturday at 11. We're going to hear from Lance Leipold, everything he said yesterday at his weekly press conference. After this, thanks for listening to ESPN.
Welcome back into Rock Chalk Sports here on KansasNation.com, as well as ESPN Kansas City. Hey, earlier in the week, we heard from head coach Lance Leipold as the Jayhawks are going to be taking on Cincinnati this coming weekend at the booth. So let's hear everything Coach Leipold had to say right now.
Some of you guys got bumped out. Should I start? Okay. Before we start, I just want to give our thoughts and prayers to the family of Coach Sean Clark at UCF and to the UCF football program. It's really a tragedy, and thinking about them. And Mike Dawson was on our staff last year. Has been touching me quite a bit and talked about what a quality man, husband, and coach he was, and he'll truly be missed. So.
Start questions. We got mics on both sides. Sorry, Kevin.
Coach, what have you seen from Brennan Sorsby so far from Cincinnati?
extremely talented, good arm, physical. They're a really good football team just overall. And a couple years back when we played them, talking with coach for the game, he talked about that they had some things to work on, recruiting and dressing and that, and it's very obvious they've done that, and especially including the quarterback position and what they're able to do and the start that they're off to, and I think our guys are well aware that after introductions today that this will be the best team that we've played so far.
He leads them in rushing. You guys did pretty good job against Bo Perbula with Missouri. What do you guys have to do?
Again, be assignment sound, be disruptive up front. And, our front's played well so far, but again, it gets into all those things, being assignment sound football, getting off blocks, tackling well, all the different things. And again, a lot of weapons there, so you got to defend everyone because, good offenses are gonna exploit what you're not defending.
It seems like you guys may be a little banged up at safety, and Devin's going to miss the first half as well. How do you feel about the depth of that position right now?
Well, good question, Henry. Again, we feel good about the depth because we've been able to play some guys, but that being said, we're a little banged up. Taylor was banged up going in the game, and really proud of the way he came through it. Again, too early to really talk until I have to on Wednesday, right, Jordan? That I don't have to about those injury reports, but we'll see where we're at. Saeed and Taylor, Jalen. We've got guys that are back there that'll continue to work, and there could be some other mixing and matching and stuff and personnel things we go. But you're right, and missing Devin, a tough play for Devin because at first, and the official even said who didn't make the call was he thought his face was up, and it was a good contact tackle, but you could see his head was down, and so we'll get him back the second half.
Lance, I think this is the first week that you don't have 4 oars for the 10th spot. Can you talk a little bit about what you've seen?
Well, I just decided to take the oars off. Okay, so it was more of I just figured you guys understood the rotations by now, and that all those guys would play. So I figured I wanted, but that was good observation. That's mainly all it was we're just gonna take the oars off.
Yeah, what have you seen from the group so far this year?
Well, again, a group that is well balanced. The thing, I'm really proud of that group because they all pull for each other. It's really neat. They understand that there's roles for all of them, and that the team is better when they're all when they all get their opportunities, and not one guy's going to take 95% of the snaps, even though they all want to play. And though we continue to push and find things. That group, we got to continue to work on blocking and some things like that. That'll help us in the run game, but they've all been able to make plays in the pass game, contribute on special teams, and really, one of the other ones not on there is Jaden Ham, who played in his limited snaps at the end of the game. We really did a nice job as well. So again, like the group, like what they're doing. I kept saying probably the biggest surprise of the group has been Bowden, and he's really kind of coming off surgery when he was at Rice. He just continues to get better each and every day.
It seems like you guys are working on a game, potentially playing overseas next season. What do you feel about that opportunity?
I really don't have any official comments on that yet. Everything is, it's kind of talked about. That's out of my hands at this point of where that's going. I can give you general thoughts on international play if you'd like, if that helps you at this point. But I think first of all, I think it's great experiences for student athletes. I think when you look at other sports in Division I athletics, get a chance to do summer tours or play games in different places. I think these are great lifelong experiences, and I know as this game continues to evolve into a heavy business model, I do still think we have life experiences and educational opportunities that if they do present themselves, that we need to look wholeheartedly into them. As a graduate assistant, I we played in Tokyo, played a bowl game in the Bahamas, and it's guys on that team talk about those experiences for the rest of their lives. So the other side of it also, I think you look at, there's a reason why the NFL keeps playing more and more games in other countries. It's expanding, it's growing, and if there's opportunities to get on the forefront of that, I think you're going to continue to see as we continue to evolve away from the educational model that I just talked about into more of a professional model, many things, you're going to see other avenues open up for other opportunities to, you know, promote, whether it be college football as a whole or the Big 12 itself. And if it does work out that we end up in an opportunity to do that and to be one of the first ones, I think is an exciting opportunity, but we shall see.
Let's go back on that game. What did you think of the offensive line, good or bad, or things that you did?
You know, sporadic. You know, again, we, better than the game before. I thought we protected Jalen pretty well. You know, there were some times, as you could see, I don't know if, especially first half, we were clicking quite as in rhythm as we wanted. The fourth down conversion early was for a touchdown was huge for us to get off to a good start. But I thought as the game went on, we warmed down a little bit. We're able to create some things. And again, you know, I thought we had some good performances. Enrique Cruz is playing really well right now for us. Rotating the two guys at left guard probably are still in a good rotation. I thought Bryce Foster had a good game. And again, we continue to work to get better, and there's still a lot of work to be done across the board.
Highshaw playing limited snaps. What do you see from Johnny Thompson?
Yeah. I thought Johnny and Harry both stepped up in their opportunities and made the most of them and showed productive plays. You know, we'll again wait and see what Daniel availability is for the week. So we may have to call upon them as well. And again, the moment wasn't too big for those guys. They've worked hard for it, and it was good to see them be productive.
We got a chance to talk to Kobe last week, and one of the things he said was on tape, it didn't feel like you guys were far off in the run game. It was a little thing here or there that was keeping him in consistency. Is that something that you're seeing?
Yeah, I think we're getting a little more consistent. You know, again, as what you hope for many times is, you know, the late run in the game, you know, all of a sudden you break one and something good happens, and if you just keep, you know, stay the course and do some things. Obviously, the runs with Jalen were designed quarterback draws, so those are, again, well-blocked plays that you hope. So it is close, and with the multiple fronts you start to see and the different blitz packages that teams are doing to confuse you, it's a challenging week-to-week assignment for those guys to go against what you're seeing these days in college football.
And then Justice Finkley, was that maybe his best game?
Yeah, you know, I think Finch played hard all along. Bobby's best production game. He's been a great addition to this program. Leadership, attitude, sets an example with his work ethic each and every day. So again, I thought he and Dean both played pretty well, probably their best games to this date.
Lance, you mentioned Emmanuel's speed the other night. You talked about it throughout the offseason also. Was that the first thing that jumped out when you looked at him as someone who's available? And I wonder if you could take us back to what you were thinking.
Yeah, it was, again, a guy that showed true speed and still had a nice receiver skill set, rawness to his game, but we felt it was something that would definitely help our football team if he was able to get here, and part of that recruiting process. But the thing that's been, you know, and then what he's given us now in the return game has been a huge plus. But he's so humble and hardworking. That's what I really appreciate about the guy. You know, we put a lot on him and weekly player load and things like that. Kid never says a thing. You know, it's just that. And I think he's just a great inspiration to many guys on this team, especially our younger receivers, about how to go about it each and every day.
How do you classify, you personally, how do you classify his speed? I mean, there's game speed, there's track speed, there's sprinter speed, there's all those different types of speed. What do you see it as?
Speed. You know, I know what you're kind of saying. You know, he plays fast. You know, like you say, some guys, you know, they game speed, especially like quarterback speed, is when they're getting chased. You know, that's fear speed. You know, and so, but you know, the way he comes off the ball and can close cushion in a short period of time and run past people is definitely impressive, and he does it. Though he has track speed, I don't consider him a track athlete trying to play football. You know, and like I said, if there was a knock on him, it was probably a little bit on ball skills and natural catching, being a former running back. But again, the plays he's made with off his body catches and things like that and adjustments, I think he's more than made the transition to the position. And again, somebody that we're going to need to continue to make big plays for us as we move along.
With Saeed, when you brought him in, you mentioned the ability for him to play slot corner.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he's been used in other ways than that. What do you like about kind of the versatility he's offered you guys in the secondary?
Yeah, Saeed's a very versatile defensive back, can play many of those positions. He's smart. He's extremely athletic. He has the build where he can play in different spots, outside, inside. Can play deep and on the hash if he has to. So again, for us to get someone with his abilities, much like Leroy, is somebody in the second window was definitely a nice pickup for us in that way.
On that note, there was news, I guess, that they're going to one transfer portal window. What are kind of your thoughts on the way that's changed and the way it's trying to?
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for that all to be 100% official. I know they're trying to work on the date. I still think, again, the sooner and better that we understand what our roster is what everybody was striving for. And again, to think that everything can be upside down every 6 months is it's not a controlling thing. It was more of a realistic thing on how to operate and build teams and do things. And I think it'll be a benefit. You know, they talked about at one time adding more practices and like you do and stuff in the summer. You know, if they would have stayed with a spring or two windows, we would need something like that. I still worry about, you know, all the wear and tear and the mileage we put on players with different stuff that we find a good balance. And I hope that this window, once we set on that time, it'll never be perfect. There's too many variables between academics, playoffs, recruiting calendars, whatever, that make it very tough to make it perfect. But I think we're all trying to find a good spot to make it work.
You guys have played a couple games in the new stadium now. What have you thought of the atmosphere so far? What are your expectations for Saturday with the sellout?
Well, you know, I think it's been exciting. I think our people have worked hard at it to continue to make the experience special. You know, again, between video board and lights, but I think our fans have been extremely loud and into the games and definitely been making a difference. To have a sellout crowd on family weekend will be very important. You know, it's important for us to fill that place on a weekly basis when possible for us, for many fronts, but to create an atmosphere that will make it difficult for opposing teams to come in here. And it was interesting. One of the officials in the first half was on side. He said something to me, and he's like, you know, Coach, remember when I told you guys would be okay if you guys just kept working when this place was half empty, 3 years ago? And he goes, you guys are, you know, he's saying how far we've come as a program. So those people notice, and I think it's noticeable about where it's been at and how far we've come, but we still have a long way to go.
Anything else for Coach Leipold?
Was Kansas head coach Lance Leipold addressing the media earlier in the week, talking about that Cincinnati win the West Virginia win, as well as the Cincinnati game coming up. Cincinnati, they're tough, right? They have a running quarterback in Brendan Sorsby. Dante Corleone, we just found out that he could potentially be questionable for this game. Reports were going around saying that he was in a boot on a scooter, which obviously does not indicate that it's going very well. They also run that kind of 3-3-5 with a rover. It's a very interesting defensive front, obviously another three-man front, but we did see Kansas take advantage of the run game against a 3-man front against West Virginia. So obviously, very looking forward to this. It's going to be another packed house at the booth. It's going to be sold out, which is very exciting. Family weekend. I was about to say get your tickets now. You can't get your tickets now because it's a sold out game. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to this because all those question marks we were talking about at the beginning of the year are sort of starting to be answered. As you can tell, I'm by myself. Sean Kellerman, he is locked in the bathroom once again. I keep on telling him it's a push, not a pull. He just will not listen to me. So that's where he is right now. Hey, be sure to stay tuned because tomorrow we're going to have Henry Greenstein on the show, as well as our KU mailbag. So hit us up on Twitter or on Facebook. Anywhere you find us on social media, send us any questions you have for our KU mailbag. We'll try to answer them to the best of our ability. Next show tomorrow on the KU mailbag. Tomorrow also, like I said, gonna have Henry on, gonna hear some soccer audio, some of the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator audio as well. That's gonna do it here for Kansas Nation Rock Chalk Sports. For Sean Kellerman, I'm Daniel Courtwright. Thanks so much for listening to Rock Chalk Sports on KansasNation.com as well as ESPN Kansas City.